Some football stories are about greatness, others are about wasted potential, and few stories capture that better than Nile Ranger.
How was Ranger? Wasted talent.
Completely.
Were he good?
Yeah.
Not
Parky,
interested.
unbelievable. If he had dedication that I'd say us three had to prolong your career and keep going, he'd be sitting in a fucking mansion somewhere in the world with life, mate.
Once considered one of the brightest young talents at Newcastle United, Ranger had all the tools to become a Premier League star. He was fast, powerful, technically gifted, and at just 18 years old he was already playing in England's top division. Instead of becoming a household name, his career became a warning for young players. This is the story of Nile Ranger. Born in London in 1991, Nile Ranger showed exceptional footballing ability from a young age. His physical presence immediately stood out. Coaches saw a striker who could bully defenders off the ball while still possessing impressive technical skills. After progressing through youth football, he eventually joined Newcastle United's academy. It didn't last long for people to notice him. Within the club, many believed they had discovered a future star. The excitement around Ranger continued to grow. Soon his opportunity arrived. In 2009, Nile Ranger made his Premier League debut for Newcastle United at just 18 years old. He looked fearless, fans loved his energy, managers admired his potential, and teammates believed he could become one of the club's future stars. As Newcastle fought their way back to the Premier League, Ranger became part of a talented young squad. Everything seemed to be heading in the right direction, but off the pitch, problems were already beginning to emerge.
What point do you decide, I'm going to take a picture holding a gun, and why do you think that's a good idea at the time? Apparently you smashed your girlfriend's front door in.
I remember that. So my ex, there was trouble with my ex. She must have said, she was living with me at the time, and then she said, yeah, I'm going to go back to London. I was like, no, you're not, you ain't going nowhere. So she went to training. I went to training. Then she said to me, I've gone back to the house and she's not there. I'm thinking, wow. So I remember saying to the gaffer, like literally something's popped up with family, blah, 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 just to go and chase her. Like literally, so I chased her, went there, went to where she was living. And I basically said to her, are you going to open the door? But no, I'm not coming back up there to Newcastle or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then I ended up kicking off the door, getting nicked. And that was another thing. Like,
yeah.
While many young footballers struggled with pressure, Rangers' challenges became increasingly public. Reports of disciplinary issues and legal troubles began appearing more frequently. Instead of making headlines for goals and performances, he was making headlines for the wrong reasons. Every incident damaged his reputation. Every controversy distracted people from his football. Clubs can tolerate mistakes, while they struggle to tolerate is a pattern, and over time that pattern became impossible to ignore. As Rangers' off-field problems continued, his football career began to suffer. Opportunities became harder to find. Managers became less willing to take risks. The player once tipped for a bright Premier League future found himself moving through lower divisions. The talent was still there. Many who played with him insisted he had the ability.
It's Nile, yeah. You know, I've seen things with him in the past where I definitely think he was tarnished with other people speaking about him. Clubs-wise, like, his card was marked.
From more managers?
Yeah, definitely. Or from mistakes he'd made.
Yeah, because there was something about the gun one when he put something on Instagram.
Yeah, they're mistakes he's already made, but it definitely followed him. So I think he got to the point where he was like, no matter what I do, no one's ever going to forgive me or give me a chance. So what's the fucking point?
But he was that good, was he? Because I've never actually seen him play.
Unbelievable, mate. He would.
But the thing is, like,
he turned up to Blackpool 2 stone overweight and was unbelievable.
But talent alone isn't enough. Professional football demands discipline, consistency and focus. Without these qualities, even the most gifted players can struggle. So what happened? How does a player with so much promise fail to reach the top? There isn't one simple answer. Some blame poor decision making. Others point to the pressure of fame at a young age. Some believe he lacked the support structure needed to navigate professional football. The reality is likely a combination of all three. Football history is filled with talented players, but the difference between potential and greatness is often what happens away from the pitch. Today, Nile Ranger's life looks very different from the one many people expected when he first broke into the Premier League. The bright lights of the top flight football are long gone. Instead of playing in packed stadiums against the world's best players, Rangers spent much of the later stages of his career moving between lower leagues and non-league clubs. For many football fans, his name is remembered more for what he could have done rather than what he has actually achieved during his career. Yet despite everything, Ranger never completely walked away from football. Over the years, he has continued trying to rebuild his career, taking opportunities wherever they came. The journey hasn't been easy, the mistakes of his past continue to follow him, and every club he joins brings renewed discussion about the talent that once seemed destined for greatness. Some fans see him as a warning for young players, others see him as a player who never received the guidance he needed at a crucial stage of his life. But regardless of opinion, one thing remains certain: Nile Rangers' story is one of the biggest what-ifs in modern English football. A player with Premier League ability, a player who reached the dream, who for countless reasons couldn't stay there. It's fair to say that Nile Rangers' career will always leave fans wondering, what if the distractions never happened? What if the focus he had matched the talent? What if one of Newcastle's brightest prospects had fulfilled his potential? But like I said, his story remains as one of football's biggest what ifs. A reminder that reaching the top is difficult, staying there is even harder.
You got an older brother?
No older brothers, no.
What's one thing you wish your older brother taught you growing up?
I ain't got an older brother though.
If you did have one,
I probably want him to guide me a bit more. Like when I was in football, I didn't really have the guidance, the behaviour. It was hard going into fast money so quick, like from just being in the ends, going into just fast money in that industry, being around people that are high up. It was tough. I reckon an older brother would have put me in a headlock and he kind of guided me.